Okay, let's take a look at question 8, question 9, and question 10. And we're going to be using a lot of square root signs, cube root signs, and for these next 3 questions. The first one talks about a right triangle having a hypotenuse of 50. Actually, the hypotenuse is the square root of 50. Okay? So we know that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So this squared. Okay? Well, what do we know about the square root and the square? Those would cancel each other out. So that means if we take the square root of 50 and then we square it, we actually end up back at 50. So I know that a squared plus b squared in this instance actually equals 50. So now I need to come up with 2 numbers that when they're squared would add up to 50. And we can do a little bit of guessing and checking. For example, let's just start with number 1. Right? If I take 1 and square it, that just equals 1. 1 times 1 is 1. If I take 2 and square it, that equals 4. 3 squared equals 9. 4 squared, 16. 5 squared, 25. 6 squared equals 36. And 7 squared equals 49. That doesn't really make sense to go any further than that because it's going to be more than 50. So can you identify 2 numbers that would add up to 50? Once you do, then you would take the numbers before they're squared, and that would be a and b. So for example, if 9 and 16 added up to 50, then we would know 3 squared plus 4 squared would be a, 3 would be a, and 4 would be b. So identify 2 numbers that add up to 50, and then those numbers, the square roots of those numbers will be a and b. The second number tells you to find square root of 23 on a number line. Well, use the square root button. On most calculators, it looks like this. If you turn your phone calculator sideways, it looks like this with a little 2. So use your square root button, and then you will get some kind of decimal, and then just find that spot on the number line. Okay? The last question asks you to solve the equation x cubed equals 27. Well, if I had the equation x squared equals 25, how would I solve that? Well, I would take the square root of both sides, right? And I would get x equals the square root of 25, or x equals 5. So here we need to take the cubed root of both sides, and the cubed root button will look similar to the square root button, except it will have a little 3. So basically take 27 and then find the cubed root button to help you find your answer. I hope that helps with questions 8, 9, and 10.